So the access to justice crisis in the United States is extraordinary. The latest study from the Legal Services Corporation shows that low-income people don't have meaningful access to justice, and that is particularly impactful for communities that are marginalized or otherwise excluded. So in addition to low-income people, people of color, veterans, and other vulnerable populations.
This could be being behind on your rent, or thinking that your employer owes you overtime and not getting paid, or having trouble with your insurance company paying your claims. And one of the things that became really clear in that research was that the systems that we have to assist people now with these really important issues, which affect their ability to have a place to live, to make a living, and to care for people who depend on them, the systems that we have now just don't work. And so there are other ways of thinking about how to connect people to their own law and to help with these really critical justice issues. And one of those really important ways is people who may not be fully licensed and fully trained attorneys, but who have specialized training to assist people in a targeted way with issues that they face.
And frankly, in many cases, lawyers aren't actually trained to do this kind of work. That's why you need justice workers who have specialized training in particular areas to meet targeted needs.
So a community justice worker for me is someone who, much like I've learned from community health workers and promotores de salud, are individuals first and foremost who have roots in a community, right, who belong to a community. The second is someone who is committed to being able to accompany a neighbor through the whole process of navigating their challenges. So instead of seeing an individual as a collection of, say, conditions or a collection of issues, they see individuals as just that, people.
As a community justice worker, I've seen firsthand how empowering it is to have the skills and training to be able to help my fellow community members with these legal issues that might otherwise go unaddressed because they can't afford to hire an attorney.
So Frontline Justice wants to give people access to their own law and to make access to justice available to everyone. It does that in a few different ways. One of the ways in which it does that is to make space for justice workers by addressing the regulatory constraints on the ability to practice law. So UPL reform and other ways in which we can empower justice workers to be effective in their communities. The second way is to develop trainings and credentialings nationally to help justice workers to both know the law, but also understand the ways in which they can be most effective and impactful in their work and communities. And then a third way is to just bring justice workers into community. So to bring folks who really are coming from different walks of life, they could be social workers or librarians or faith leaders, and to bring them together and provide resources, but also community in which they can engage to be more impactful around their justice work.
In Texas, we are also looking at a rule that would make justice workers permissible. And what basically that would do is give people in the community a right-sized option and someone who is close to the community to help them figure out how they can deal with the most basic of civil legal needs.
We've been doing work around developing what we call micro pathways, which are more targeted learning for jobs like this one. What we're trying to do here is think about a way to get people into these roles when they couldn't even imagine it before. We're trying to think about how we get people the help that they need through this work.
We need to expand capacity by training folks who are community workers, social service workers, other folks who know these communities well in some of the processes that they can easily help with to make sure that people don't lose their homes unnecessarily or don't face danger in their families. So these are basic things that people need in order to lead full lives, and that there are legal barriers that prevent them. And we can address those barriers by building capacity, and that's what we're here to do.
I think with community justice workers, we have the potential to have a very diverse pool that will be able to provide more culturally appropriate services that will generate trust with the community, not just trust in the worker themselves, but trust in the entire civil justice system.